All right, good afternoon, everybody. All right, 4 more matches today, and I was at work for two of them, and I was watching them distractedly. So good thing, good. Well, I didn't mess up too much, but I was distracted and probably slower in what I was doing. But that's just what happens. Um, but yeah, so we had two games at 9 in the morning, and that was Australia and Peru versus Denmark, or Australia versus Peru and Denmark versus France. Um, Denmark and France fought to a 0-0 draw. The first 0-0 draw, the first game that didn't have a goal, came from Denmark and France. So congrats to France for that. Then Australia and Peru. Peru got 2 goals, so they're going home, but as are Australia, but they're at least going home with, a memory that they scored twice. So that's good for them. And hopefully they'll be back sooner rather than later in terms of the World Cup. I'm pretty sure they will make the 48, the one that's going to be in the U.S. anyway. So we could be seeing them next World Cup or the one after that. We shall see. The games then that I watched were the ones that really mattered because neither Australia nor Peru really, I think, could win or could could advance. But Argentina, Nigeria, Iceland, and Croatia were all sort of in a battle, and more so Iceland, Nigeria, and Argentina, because all three of those teams could have been advancing depending on the situation at hand and what happened. So just looking at the standings or what they were, I think I explained them in the last video, but essentially Argentina, if they had won, and Iceland, if they had won, Iceland would have advanced, I think, on goal difference. Nigeria, if they had won or gotten a draw, then they would have gone through with, Iceland drawing or losing. There's just a bunch of situations, but those don't matter because what did happen was Croatia ended up beating Iceland 2-1. Croatia doing really well, so they could be a low key pretty good team. And then Argentina, they got it done as well. Messi led the way with an early goal in the 14th minute, and then Nigeria did fight back. They got 1 goal off a penalty. I think there was VAR used. There was stuff going on. I didn't get a good listen in or a good look, but it seems that there was at least some sort of controversy. But then somebody besides Messi scored in the 86th minute, and that was Marcus Rojo on a lovely volley. Hit it first time into the bottom corner, and in the 86th minute, and Messi, there's a picture I'm looking at here that's probably going to be iconic, at least for this match, which is Messi jumping on the back of Marcus Rojo as he storms off to the corner in celebration, because there's probably a lot of relief in there, and thankfulness in that somebody besides Messi scored a goal, finally, because that's been, Argentina, typically a lot of people, with Messi, he's the best player in the world. So there's a lot of focus on him, and his teammates, although they do have a lot of skill, sometimes get overlooked, and sometimes, and especially in World Cup games, seem to sort of disappear and not show up and not score any goals. So if that pattern continues, it's just going to stretch people out more because they're going to be actually worrying about other people, the other players, and then Messi's going to do what he always does and his magic in order to do that. So those were the results for today. For tomorrow, I'm a little bit bummed because I'm going golfing tomorrow in the morning, but so I'm missing sort of the set of games that I'd like to watch, which is Mexico versus Sweden and South Korea versus Germany. The stakes are high for Germany, and the stakes are very high for Germany because they need Sweden to lose or draw. Well, they need Sweden to lose and not gain any points more or any more points than them. So Germany, if they drew or got a win, then they would be pretty safe. Getting a win would probably solidify them into safety. Mexico are kind of the big sort of question mark whether or not they're going to bring out their full, starting lineup to bear against Sweden, because Sweden can if they win, and Germany. Sorry about that. Somebody called me, and I'm recording on my phone, so it doesn't help. But yes, so Sweden can overtake Germany if they get a win, and Germany only get a draw or lose. It's probably essentially going to be a must-win for Germany. They are playing South Korea, which South Korea have put up a good fight, I suppose, in previous matches, but it's I guess good for Germany. They're playing the worst team in the group as far as points acquired is concerned. So it's going to be interesting, and I will not find out until the games are probably finished. But hopefully Germany stays in their second spot, because and then the next slot, hopefully Brazil stay in their first, because that round of 16 Brazil-Germany rematch is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. So those are the games tomorrow. In the morning, Switzerland play Costa Rica, which could be good for Switzerland because they could win and Brazil could draw, and then they would be playing it would be a different matchup. But Brazil played Serbia in their next match. Technically, I think, yeah, and if Brazil kind of need to win this, Switzerland kind of also need to win their game, which is the point of any game, I guess. But Serbia do have 3 points, so if they do beat Brazil or get a draw wouldn't work for Serbia. Serbia need to get a win in order to hop either Brazil or Switzerland they would hop Brazil for sure, and then Switzerland, depending on if Switzerland lost or Switzerland, yeah. So just because of the points, essentially Serbia can qualify still. Technically, Costa Rica are out, but hopefully they'll give a good fight to Switzerland and all of that. So those are the 4 games on tomorrow. And as far as the bracket is concerned, we've got 2 more games flushed out because of the finishing results. France will play Argentina in the round of 16, and then Croatia will play Denmark, which I think that Croatia-Denmark game will be good. France-Argentina will be a match between the probably the most confused or disjointed teams that are supposedly good. And what I mean by that is France are kind of struggling. They didn't get the win against Denmark. They've been struggling a little bit in their recent results. I think they barely just won their past game. Yeah, 1-0 to Peru. So you'd expect them to do better than that. So we'll see. Interestingly enough, we could have Portugal and Argentina playing in the quarterfinals, and that would be a Messi versus Ronaldo direct thing, which would be very interesting. But of course, 1 game at a time, and to see even if Argentina advance, because France are a pretty good team, and they could, if they are well organized, could advance further. So that being said, we're keeping on trekking. We're keeping on trekking, and I think the theme song for today is going to be "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees. So, at least for Argentina, that's the song of the day, and you know, we will just have to see. Anyway, so I will check in with y'all tomorrow, and take care.